Aloha, beautiful souls. This is Ryan of tranSOULution, and welcome to my channel, Transform with Ryan, where I am bringing you that light whenever there are shadows. Now, in this Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are going to be asking Spirit, what should you do? And receive Spirit's advice for your current situation. And we're channeling the energies and the wisdom and the guidance here for your highest and greatest good, as well as the highest and greatest good of all of those involved. So as you can see here, there are three options from three different tarot decks. We have the Tarot of the Divine here, and I chose the Two of Swords from each of these decks because often what the Two of Swords represents is this kind of position where you have to make a decision. And perhaps there are some things you aren't seeing, some things that you are not aware of, okay? So I chose the Two of Swords to be our portal for clarity, to move beyond these energies of confusion, of indecision, of doubt, and even a little bit of worry. So here again, we have the Tarot of the Divine, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then the Star Spinner Tarot, okay? So just take a look and see which imagery or feel into the energies of the deck to determine which one has the answer for you about your current situation. All right? And I'll see you. You can check out the description box below. The timestamps are there to go to your reading. All right? Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Do let me know in the comments down below where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear from you. So today, loves, we are getting some insight on the question, what should you do? And we're calling Spirit and requesting a Spirit to give you some advice for your current situation. So we're going to put the Divine Tarot here to the side for just a moment, and we're going to pull some tea leaf fortune cards to get us started, okay? And we're just asking Spirit to give us some information about the situation that you're not yet fully aware of. Some things that maybe someone is not saying to you, or something that hasn't yet been decided that you need to be aware of that may factor in to the advice and the guidance for your current situation. Okay, so we're just kind of taking a look at the solution as it is, right now, and seeing what information we can get, okay? That also will have some key pieces of guidance and wisdom for you. And then we'll use the tarot to call in the exact guidance for your highest and greatest good, as well as the highest and greatest good of everyone involved, okay? So Spirit's take one more good shuffle, and then we'll take a look at all the fortune cards here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So first out, we had the kite, I believe. Vacation. Oh, okay, okay. So already what I'm sensing here is that whatever people or whoever, really whoever is involved in this situation, there is one or several of them that's on vacation. Now, they could obviously literally be on vacation, and maybe you're getting these messages that I am currently out of the office until blah blah blah. If you need immediate help, please message so and so, right? So literally this person is on vacation and they're not checking their messages yet, and so they're not able to respond and help move forward with this situation, okay? Now, for others of you, literally this person is like their mind is on vacation. Like they're really not in the headspace and probably not even in the energetic space to be helping come up with a solution for this situation or to get back to you regarding whatever it is. It's just like they're not there mentally, emotionally, or energetically, okay? They're kind of like checked out at this moment, for whatever reason, okay? Maybe they have some other personal things going on in their life as it is, or maybe they're just not in a good headspace to talk about it. Like maybe it's just the emotions are too strong regarding the situation right now, so they're kind of like checked out, okay? I don't know, have any of you ever been in that position before where you're just like kind of so overwhelmed or so exhausted, you're just like, I'm checking out for a little bit and I just need to get away. I know I have been there multiple times, and so I definitely understand that feeling. Next here we have desk. Pay attention to your work. And what I'm feeling through this energy from the card here is actually that there are other things that require your attention right now that you need to address. But this situation that you're asking advice on, it's what feels most important to you right now, what you would really like to see handled ASAP. But Spirit is saying, like, there's really not much more you can do on your end regarding this situation. So focus on the things that you do have control over. Focus on the things that you do have an influence on, okay? And also, that way you don't fall behind on other things in your life that maybe are being neglected because this current situation that has you at sort of like a standstill is just being consuming a lot of your thoughts right now. So Spirit is saying, okay, wait, come back, come back. There are other things going on in your life besides this. So focus on those for now until this energy, this person, or this factor here can kind of get it together, okay? And then here we have shield. You need to defend yourself, okay? So what I'm getting from this actually is very interesting. There's almost like this self-sabotage energy happening here. And so Spirit is just suggesting that you be mindful of those type of thought patterns. Again, I don't know if you're like this. I know I've been like this in the past, but when someone isn't getting back to you right away, there could be this tendency to fear for the worst, right? So, for example, if it's like your boss and you ask them a question and they're not getting back to you right away, the thought pattern could be like, oh my gosh, they don't care about this situation at all, or they completely disagree with me and they just don't want to let me know, or it's not the answer that they want to give me isn't in my favor. And so that's why they're not getting back to me because they're kind of delaying it because they know I'm going to be upset, right? So our thoughts can kind of go in that direction. And really, that's not necessarily true regarding this, okay? Again, the energy that I'm getting is you've done your part here. And so there's really nothing else for you to do. And it's in the other person's court, right? The ball is in their court, and they need to kind of make sense of things themselves right now, and they need to figure things out for themselves on what's best for them, what's best for, if it involves work or other people, what's best for the community, what's best for the company, what's best for the department, what's best for the relationship, what's best for the family, those types of things. So they just need their time to process what's going on. And you shouldn't sort of get carried away in any negative thinking patterns, all right? And I'm sensing here that pay attention to your work. Like right now, work is actually going to be a good distraction for you since this situation is not going to be making a lot of progress at the moment. So let's see what else we got here. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. Ooh, okay, interesting. Dog, protection from a powerful friend. Wishbone, a wish is granted. And flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. So I really feel, I'm just going to move this over to the side because I'm really feeling like this shield and this flag are kind of buddies here in this scenario, because with this, do not be tempted to lower your standards. It reminds me of the situations where you ask somebody like, hey, do you want to go out to do this thing with me? And then they kind of pause or they hesitate. And really what they're doing is just thinking in their mind, like, hey, is my schedule open at that time to do this thing with you? Am I really interested in doing this thing with you? Do I even have the money to do this thing with you? Like, do I have the funds available? Like, that could be what's going on in their mind. But because of the delay and this perceived hesitation, you're like, oh, they don't want to do it. And then you start to go like, oh, well, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to, or we can do it on a different day. Or, oh, I know money is tight right now for you, so I can like help you out, or I can chip in and pay for you if that makes it easy for you, right? It's kind of like we jump in already and try to alter the not circumstances, maybe criteria, but like the settings, we alter it, right? And it's like, oh no, well maybe they do have time that day. They're just trying to mentally look at their schedule, right? Kind of call their schedule up to mind, and you're already like, oh, they don't have time. You're just making this assumption like, oh, you don't have time to do it right now, and so you're giving another option for a time slot when they haven't even addressed the first question, which is like, can we go out to do this thing on Thursday, right? You're already like, oh, well, okay, maybe that Thursday's not a good day. Let's go to Friday, right? And they haven't even had a chance to answer you or process the question. And so, with this lowering your standards, it's sort of like saying, hey, whatever you offered, whatever you put out there on the table with your question, it's already a very good offer. It's already a very good suggestion. It's already a very good idea, okay? And just because they're not responding right away or fast enough for you, there's no need to alter your idea or make it more agreeable for them. Like, you're not trying to sell them on something here. Like, this is the offer. It's a very good offer. And just leave it at that and let them process it and think of it at their own speed, at their own pace. And don't try to adjust it already without hearing from them, right? There's like this energy of negotiation that's coming through here, and it's like you want to stand your ground for a successful negotiation, whether that's for personal reasons or business reasons, right? You don't want to appear weak, because then you could be totally taken advantage of here. And this is like someone you know is undependable and insincere. So it's kind of like you're giving them a way to act upon this insincerity and this undependability here. Okay, it's like you're saying, hey, let's go do something on Thursday. Are you free? And then because of their silence and because of their lack of response, you're like, okay, well, maybe Friday is better for you. Is Friday better for you? Maybe we should do it on Friday instead. Like, I could move my schedule around. Then it's kind of feeding in this energy of like, now they have the opportunity to flake out on you and be like, oh, well, Friday, Thursday, they're not that great for me, instead of letting them say, okay, yes, Thursday's good for me, or no, Thursday's actually not a good day for me. And then you can follow up. If they don't offer, you can follow up and say like, oh, well then what day would be good for you to go do this or to get this taken care of, right? And putting, like, again, the ball in their court and giving some degree of ownership and accountability for them, all right? So that it's like, well, you suggested this, so you can't back out now, right? And letting them be a part of the decision-making process here. And honestly, if you ask them this question and allow them to respond, you're going to be able to see truly, like, what are their intentions? Like, how invested are they in this? You're going to give them a chance to show how much they care about this situation, okay? And what the value they place on it could be. And, they may show up and be like, hey, I really want to do this thing on Thursday, but I have this previous commitment. Would it be okay, or is it possible that we do this thing on Friday, right? And it shows on a level that, hey, they do really want to spend time with you. It's just that day isn't a good day for them because they already have a previous commitment, right? Alternatively, they could be like, no, I can't do that on Thursday, and then not say anything else. And right then and there, it's almost like, okay, maybe they really don't want to hang out with you, or maybe they're just not really interested in that activity and they don't want to just outright tell you, right? And so you can ask them like, hey, well, what day would be good for you then? And then you can find out, is this something that they want to do because they're offering a potential solution or alternative, or are they going to be able to tell you like, actually, I'm not really interested in doing that. Maybe you can ask so-and-so to do that with you instead, right? And then you can kind of see like their genuine interest and sincerity regarding that activity, okay? And it could be something silly, like, do you want to go watch this movie on Thursday? And they're just like, no. And it's like, okay, well, Do you not want to watch the movie because you don't like that movie, or just because that day is not good for you? And then you can find out from there. You can kind of like get more information. Does that make sense? I know that maybe that came off a bit convoluted, so you might have to listen to this again or just think about your situation and see how it can fit or apply, okay? Now, what I'm seeing here, a wish is granted. And so, what I'm getting, overall from this energy here, with this reading is like you're searching for some sense of accountability. Does that make sense? You're looking for some confirmation that someone does what they say they're going to do. They're just as interested in solving this problem as you are, or they're just as interested and invested in building and maintaining a relationship with you as you are. And so that truth that you're seeking is going to be granted, okay? Like what I'm hearing from Spirit is like one of the phrases that you are asking about or wanting an answer for is like, I wish I just knew what was going on in their head. Or I wish we could just get this over with already. Or I wish I just knew one way or another. Or I wish they would just be over. Right? And so I feel like Spirit is really leading you on that path, but it just might not be at the speed that you're going, right? That you want. The speed might not be as fast as you would like. I don't know where I was going. Oh my God, Mercury retrograde. I tell ya, people, sometimes that really gets me all tongue-tied. So, what you want to find out and know, you will. But what I'm sensing here is that it might not be the outcome that you desire. Okay? I'm sensing this sort of like ultimatum energy coming through here, where it's like, I just need to know, what are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about this? What are you going to do about it? Right? Like, I'm getting that energy from this particular reading and this particular deck that you want that answer. And what I'm hearing here is this person isn't quite ready yet to give you an answer, or the answer that they want to give you is not necessarily the one you want to hear. Okay? So that's kind of what I'm getting here. Now, this protection from a powerful friend. This feels very much like a wild card to me regarding your situation. And so perhaps what you and I are both not seeing about this situation is that a friend is involved and wanting nothing but the best for you, and is maybe experiencing a little bit of worry or fear on your behalf, and they're trying to protect you in any way they can, right? Maybe they're trying to talk to this person on the side and be like, yo, you got to get back to them, or you need to be honest with them, or whatever the case may be, right? It could be like that overprotective friend where it's like, hey, I feel like you're stringing my friend along. Like, what are your true intentions with them, right? Like, I'm sensing that kind of energy, And I'm also, maybe for some of you in the workplace situation, this might not necessarily be like a friend, like buddy that you hang out with outside of work, but it's sort of like an ally or somebody on your side at work that's talking to this person you're trying to communicate with and get something going with, or make progress on a situation with. This person's like, hey, like, I know so-and-so has been trying to reach you. Like, please make sure you get back to them as soon as possible, because this is something that we all need to take care of here at the workplace, or this is a very important matter, right? And they're like, so-and-so is a really good employee. They're a really hard worker. And so it would be great if you could get back to them. They're not trying to be a pest. I get that kind of energy here from this dog card, that there is someone that's trying to help your situation as best that they can. And it could even be something as simple as they're just praying for you and wishing for you and hoping for you on your behalf, that you get whatever you need from this, okay? Wow, I'm sensing a lot of love. from this energy here. And that's really, really beautiful. They really care for you a lot, this person here. And they truly are acting in your best interests. Okay, so there are some things, so these are kind of some things that, about your situation that Spirit wanted to bring to your attention, okay? And now let's actually get some like straight up guidance, okay? Already we know that Spirit is like, hey, there's not anything that you can physically do here. There's no specific action that you need to take right now on your end. Again, the ball is in their court. But is there some guidance for you to kind of set your heart, set your mind at ease here, all right? So let's see what that could be. Dun, dun, dun. So 6 of coins. Queen of Swords. The Hanged Man. 10 of Wands. 8 of Cups. I want to do 7, so I'm like counting. 7 of Wands. And 9 of Coins. Ah, okay. Wow. This is very, 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 very interesting here. Oh my gosh. I love the messages coming through. Okay, so firstly, what I'd like to point out is look at all the numbers here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, in like poker, that's like a straight. It's not a flush though, because we have different suits. But we have a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this this situation that you're asking about will definitely be coming to a conclusion. And it's like, what I'm feeling from this energy is like, there's no going back after this. Whatever outcome is decided, whatever action this other person decides to take, it's going to change the shape and form of this relationship, this interaction, like, irreversibly. Okay? And so, yeah, this is really like the ball is in their court. It's like, yo, what are you gonna do? Because depending on what you do, I'm either gonna hang around or I'm out. So that was that ultimatum energy that I was feeling from you guys. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So, okay, what I'm seeing here too, let's look at the numbered cards first. So with the 6 of coins, what I'm seeing is you have been very charitable in this situation. So Spirit is saying you've given a lot to this interaction, this relationship, this job, this family, whatever. You've given a lot of time, effort, and care into this. And like you've been very charitable. You've been very forgiving, excuse me, and you've given a lot of chances. And so that could be why there's this ultimatum energy that I'm feeling here that wants to come through, is because like you are basically like on your last straw here. You're like, oh my gosh, I've given so much. I've already asked so many times about this and I'm about done, you know? And with this 7 of Wands, like you put in a lot of work and effort here. So not only have you been very charitable, given a lot of chances, but you've been putting a lot of hard work and time into this relationship again, or this project, or this issue. You've been, you know, racking your brain about it. You've been trying to be very solution focused. You've been trying to do your part and then some, right? And it's like, yo, why are we not where we need to be yet? Like, this is insane for the amount of time and work and effort and money and whatever I put into this. Like, the results right now are really lacking. And Spirit is saying here, like, hey, if you're going to deliver an ultimatum, which it sounds like you may have, you need to be ready to leave. Okay? So basically, you know, the best way to utilize an ultimatum is like, yo, I'm not negotiating more. I'm literally prepared to leave. Okay? Like I'm not afraid of a loss here. Like that's where I'm at. Okay? That's really the essence of the ultimatum. It's like, I don't need this job. I don't need to interact with you. I don't need to work with you. I don't need to be in a relationship with you. Right? Like that's sort of the energy that is like coming through here. That's the guidance here. It's like, what are you prepared to lose here? Okay? Because it's very possible that you could lose something here. And you know, when I say loss, maybe it kind of pulls at your heartstrings, but not all losses are bad things. Okay? In fact, because of this particular cards that came out, a loss could actually be a very good thing for you. Because here with the Nine of Coins, excuse me, I'm like all sniffly because of my allergies. With the Nine of Coins, there's this opportunity here for abundance and stability and security, okay? Like this situation that you're in maybe wasn't very abundant. Maybe it was more draining, and maybe it wasn't very secure. Maybe it was very rocky and left you very confused and unclear about like what actually is going on. And so it could be that losing this situation, losing this person, losing this job or whatever it is, will actually open the door for something better to come in. And from this ending can come a new beginning, a new birth. And I mean, my gosh, look at this tree. Like, it ain't no scraggly little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is lush. It is blossoming and blooming. And look at all these little seeds and flowers all around it. Okay. Like, if this person, this job, this company, this whatever, is not going to agree to your terms, then Spirit is like, good riddance. Good riddance. Don't allow them to take any more of your time and energy than they're worth. Okay? Because there are other opportunities for you. There are other people that you could be interacting with, that you could be dating, that you could be showing your amazing love and affection towards, right? Like this person or this company doesn't need you and you don't need them, right? Like you don't need that kind of energy in your life that's like taking and not giving back, or not showing gratitude, or not showing compassion or affection or love, right? Like you don't need that. And they definitely don't need you in their lives as someone that they could be taking advantage of. That's for sure. You better, okay. I ain't about that life. In case y'all didn't know, I hate when people are taken advantage of, or they're misused or abused. So that's like, maybe that's just my bias, but I feel like this protective friend here is like on your side too, and they totally get where I'm coming from, where it's like, man, you are totally playing my friend, you are misusing my friend, you are abusing my friend. Like, I ain't down for that. And because my friend is so freaking nice about it and so freaking giving, like, I'm gonna have to step up in here, okay? Because you acting so janky. Oh my gosh. Okay, clearly you guys can tell I know that feeling very well, because at times I could be overprotective myself towards my friends and loved ones. Now, what these two cards are showing me here is, again, with the Hanged Man, there is no movement on your end. It's like right now, it's just sit and wait. It's like, hey, you put your cards on the table. Now the other person, like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna fold? Are you gonna try to challenge me and win? What you gonna do? Okay? That's what I'm seeing here with this Hanged Man energy. Now with this Queen of Swords, I mean, look at her. She looks like a boss bee, okay? She ain't playing. Like, she will cut a fool. And that's what Spirit is saying that you need right now, is you need to stand your ground, okay? Don't like put this ultimatum and like waver here, or be like, oh, okay, just kidding. Like, I know that was a little harsh. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Like, no, it's about time. It's about time that you stood up for yourself and that you don't take less than what you deserve. And that's what this Queen of Swords energy is. She don't play. All right, y'all? She is serious. She has offered her kindness and compassion, and people have taken it for granted. And so now it's like, oh, okay, you want to do me like that? Well, okay, now it's time to put my bad bee pants on, my bad bee kimono on, and handle you, because I'm not going to be misused and abused no more. So that's what Spirit is saying, is you have every right to feel the way you feel. You have every right to demand some clarity. You have every right to demand answer to your question. You have every right to demand to get what you deserve and to receive back what you've put out and given. Okay, it's like it's really a lot of energy exchange is all that it boils down to. It's exchange of energy where some people overgive and then they get that burnout or they get that anger or resentment start to build in them, and it's because they're not having that opportunity to receive in return. Okay, so let's see another piece of advice, another card, if we will, of wisdom for you regarding this situation. Oh my gosh, like I'm feeling the emotions. It's getting like, it's just so tense here. Oh, but again, knowing you are in the right on this situation. Okay, that's what I'm getting from Spirit. It's like you have nothing to feel bad about here at all. Okay, so what card do we have here? Abundance. Congratulations. You are blessed with abundance. You deserve divine gifts such as good news, a new job, a new relationship, or material things. Okay, I'm sensing here Spirit is like, something's got to go, honey. Something has got to go. Let go of your worries and doubts. Just follow your divine guidance. And so let me just say, as a final parting word with this card here, is Spirit is encouraging you not to operate from the mindset of limitations, as if this situation, whatever it is the best that you can get. Because it's not, especially, my love, if you have not been appreciated. Like, it just breaks my heart that you're in this position where you feel underappreciated. And Spirit is like, you don't have to put up with this. You don't have to deal with this. Like, let go of that thing and come with me. I will take you to something better. Okay? If this person isn't willing to step up, carry their weight, do their part, then nah, son. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felipe. Bye. Okay, my love. So if this reading resonated with you and you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to this channel, even maybe share the video for anyone you feel might need to hear these messages within. And of course, if you'd like to go to another reading, you can click this link right up here in the top right corner and it'll take you there. But otherwise, it was such a pleasure being with this dog friend energy here and being on your side. So I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Take care, loves. Until next time, bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a warm welcome and aloha. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. So today, I'm feeling really energized here all of a sudden from this reading. It's what should you do? Advice for your current situation. We are going to be moving away from this energy of indecision, of not knowing, of not having answers that's represented here in the Two of Swords, and we're going to kind of illuminate the situation for you all. Okay, my loves? So we're going to start out first with these tea leaf fortune cards, okay? And we're just really going to sort of get a bird's eye view on your situation. We're going to try to pull out the facts of the matter. We're going to try to get as objective a view on your situation as possible, trying to leave some of the subjective things behind. It's kind of like we're asking Spirit to sort of be our best friend that helps us see the things that we may be missing here or that we may be blind to because of our own bias, our own prejudice, or whatever within this matter, okay? So that's what we're gonna do first, and then we'll use the tarot to pull out that more concrete advice and guidance. Oh my gosh, y'all, I made up a new word, advidence, which is the combination of advice and guidance. I think I'm gonna have to make a bumper sticker of that or something. I can't. OMGers. So let's see what we got. We have gavel, involvement with the law. Ooh, okay, so there's some legal things that are at play here. Apple, temptation will test you. Tree, affairs with your family. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths are opening up. Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. And chain of events that will affect your life. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is clearly something that can have a lot of ramifications for your future moving forward. And so, what I'm seeing here is that one of the things that you're going to need to take into mind regarding your situation is like, what are the actual rules? What is the law have to say about it? What I'm seeing is this issue goes beyond just you and your personal feelings. There's also a legal aspect to it that you have to take consideration of. It's like, hey, if you make this choice or if you do this thing, could the law be involved now with your decision? Or is this purely a matter that involves the household, that involves, just strictly emotions? Or could someone come at you with a lawsuit or a legal grievance or something like that? And also, what I'm seeing too is like if you're working with another company or with another platform, like what are the terms and conditions of using that platform? Okay, because again, you could be in violation of that, right? And so, for example, you just have to double check the rules and regulations, the terms and conditions that apply to your rental property or to your online social media account, like whatever it is. You need to just make sure like whatever you're choosing to do or thinking about doing, it's not going to be in violation of that, because there could be more problems later down the road if it does violate the terms of use. Okay. And you may be tempted to just go for it because maybe the prize or the goal or the dream that you see for yourself in the future is just like so tempting. It's like, oh my God, it'd be so worth it. And Spirit is like, actually, no. This is a warning that don't be won over by temptation here. You need to do the right thing. No shortcuts, no cheating, no trying to, you know, manipulate the system or wiggle through, because it's gonna come back to you in the future if you do that. Remember, you always reap what you sow, okay? And um, I feel like this tree here, this affairs with your family, that's kind of the minority of you. Okay, I'm not the majority of you that were drawn to this card, but definitely it involves a family matter. Again, like, it could be like, okay, say, I don't know, say you want to get a divorce, right? You're thinking about getting a divorce. Obviously, that involves legal separation and things like that. And so it's like, okay, well, how do I protect myself during the divorce proceedings? Like, how do I make sure I don't get screwed over or get taken advantage of, right? So seeking legal counsel with that. Or with affairs of the family, what's coming through, and this can be a very sensitive topic, but when it comes to like healthcare issues, right? Like sometimes when people have developmental issues or whatever, and then you become their power of attorney and you have to make decisions for them. Like, you need to make sure that you understand very clearly what is within your rights as the power of attorney and what is in the rights of the person you have power of attorney over. Okay? There's that matter. And then it could even be with, things regarding hospitalizations for mental health issues or for hospice care, like end of life care. Like, it could involve that. And it's very important in these instances that you understand what the law says. Okay, because the law is there with the intention. I understand that sometimes the law doesn't fulfill this perfectly, but the law is there with the intention to protect people. Okay, and so just make sure that you are within your legal rights to make certain decisions and to take certain courses of action, but also that you are not violating someone else's legal rights. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that perhaps lately you've been very focused in on your feelings, like how you feel about the situation, right? Which is very subjective standpoint. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all, okay? But in this particular case that you're asking about, it's very important that you also are objective with this situation. What are the facts? What are the actual rules? And making sure none of those are broken, okay? And so this can take a little bit more time to look into and understand, right? Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not always familiar with the law. In fact, I'm hardly ever familiar with the laws because I'm no lawyer or judge at all. So it might take some time and some research and effort on your part to really understand this, and definitely seeking counsel, professional counsel and advice on this matter. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get this stuff done. So Spirit is like, just be patient, all right? And coming from this situation again, there new paths, new opportunities, new possibilities for better or for worse are going to open up depending on the course of action you choose to take. And that's this chain of events. Okay, so you choose one course of action and it's going to lead you down this sequence of events and possibilities. You choose this other course of action, it's going to lead you down that sequence of events and that route, that path of possibilities. So it's really important that you're not just thinking of the immediate moment. That's actually very good. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Spirit is saying, like, don't look at the immediate gains. You have to play the long game here. You have to think 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. All right, this isn't like a simple situation, which is probably why you're here for advice, where it's just like, oh, I choose A. Like, no, you have to also consider, like, if you choose A, does that mean you have to think of Z, Y, and X, right? Like, it just goes beyond the here and the now, okay? So, what I'm hearing from Spirit is not to respond or react or address the situation in a very reactive, like impulsive way. Spirit is saying, like, stop and think here. Detach from your emotions for a moment and think rationally and think logically, because you don't want to make a mistake that you're going to regret. Okay? So let's pull from some tarot here now. Let's get some specific guidance through here for you, my loves, for like what can you do, should you do in this specific moment here, in this present moment, okay? All right. Ooh, my gosh. There is something going down. Okay, I feel like Spirit wants us to use this card. So we will honor that. Okay, I'm just going to put this Two of Swords out of the field here for a moment. Star. Oh, I love that. What a great way to open up this segment. Then we have the Mother of Wands, the Four of Cups, Daughter of Swords, the Fool, the Hanged Man, and the Chariot. Oh my gosh, you have like quite a fair amount of major arcana cards coming through here. You have 4 out of the 7. So you have the Chariot, the Hanged Man, the Fool, and the Star here, okay? So what I'm hearing from Spirit to start you off with is get very clear on what it is you want. Like, what is your end goal here, okay? And you have to be very strategic about getting it, all right? So this is like, what is the bigger picture? Okay, not what is the quick, fast, easy solution here, which is very tempting because then it's like just out of the way. No, because again, your choices are going to have ramifications here. So Spirit is saying, like, what is it that you really want to see happen here? And now you have, once you know what that is, you have to be very strategic here, okay, as to what actions you're going to take So you have to be thinking again, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead here. This isn't about the short game. This isn't about the immediate turnaround or like the quick flip. Okay, this is like you were playing. This is a big move. I'm like seeing chess pieces here, right? And you know why? Because with this Four of Cups energy, what I'm seeing here is this idea of you're going to have to make some sort of short-term concession or loss for the long-term win or the gain. Okay, so what I'm seeing is there has to be some type of sacrifice here, because the thing is, you're not going to be able to get everything you want in this particular situation without conceding something over. Okay, so Spirit is like, what is it that you truly want here? Okay, because you're going to have to accept some type of loss, or you're going to have to make some kind of compromise somewhere else to get what you want. So with this star card, what Spirit is also saying is like, yo, make a list of the things that you can negotiate on or compromise on, and the things that are like just flat out non-negotiable. Like it's this or nothing, right? Like it has to be this. So, you know, just to kind of use maybe like a divorce or a separation in mind, you can think of like the car and the house. Which one do you really want? Because maybe you're tempted to be like, I want to take it all because I'm just so angry at you and I deserve it all because you did me wrong and this is just justice being served, right? Like, and you want to just jump in there and be like, I'm going to take everything from you, right? And you're being threatening and you're being loud and whatever. And Spirit is like, whoa. Divorce proceedings are very delicate matters, right? Oftentimes, there's a lot of tense emotions involved. And so you don't want to come off as someone that's unreasonable, someone who's like crazy or whatever, like sort of negative characteristics you might be attributed, because that's going to affect you in the long run. You know, if you do some things that are rash, some things that are spiteful, then you're gonna get in trouble, you know? It kind of reminds me like, oh my gosh, like that movie, okay, I might be dating myself here, y'all, but it makes me think of that movie, Waiting to Exhale. And there was a relationship where the husband was like cheating on the wife with their secretary. I mean, like, my God, right? Classic storyline here of like heartbreak and betrayal and whatever. And what ended up happening is like the wife like grabbed all of his clothes and like threw them in a car and set it on fire. So she set the car and the clothes on fire. And it's kind of like, okay, that might feel very satisfying for you to do that and let your anger out in that way, but you're also breaking a lot of laws in that way too, right? Like, I feel like depending on who the legal owner, again, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, so obviously this is not legal advice in any way, shape, or form. But it's like, if you do that, like, you could be charged with arson, right? You could be charged with destruction of property, and you could be in a very, like, an even worse position than you would have if you just played your cards right and thought things through. And it could be like, if you do something extreme like that, now you might not get anything out of the divorce, because now in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of a jury or whatever, you're going to look like someone who's very volatile and unsafe, and right, and people might start to question your sanity, and you could get in more trouble, right? This chain of events. So again, the message here is, do not act rashly and do not be super reactive in this situation. And, you know, if you, like, what do you want more, the house or the car? Because you probably won't be able to get both. So what are you going to fight for, and what can you give up? Okay, so that's kind of what's happening here with the beginning part of this progression and the story. Now with the Daughter of Swords, what I'm seeing here is, you know, Swords is about knowledge, information, and communication. And with the Daughter of Swords, that's really lacking on your end right now. Like, you don't have perhaps the legal know-how or the knowledge on these matters. And And so you need to seek counsel. You need to find somebody who does know the laws. So this Daughter of Swords is about seeking information, seeking knowledge, okay, and getting new information, new knowledge, because the Daughter of Swords is very similar to like the Ace, and even here, the Fool card, which is next. So these together are saying like, hey, accept and acknowledge that you need help, that you don't know everything here, that you're not the expert on this matter, and so it's important for you to get the help that you need, that expert opinion, that expert guidance. So that's what Spirit is saying. That's what you can do right now, is get professional help. And again, an expert opinions on this issue here, okay? Because you don't want to look like the fool here. You don't want to be naive. You don't want to make a misstep or make a poor choice, okay? Here, you want to play it smart. Now here with the Hanged Man and the Chariot, what I'm seeing here is your victory, your success is really dependent on you being able to see the other side, see the other perspective. Now, let me just say, that doesn't mean you have to agree with the other side, the other perspective, but you need to be able to see it and understand it, because that's how you can perhaps develop a counter argument, right? So once you know what the other person wants, what they desire, that could be a tool to help you in negotiating, all right? Oh my God, this reminds me of this book that I started reading like a while ago. Oh my God, it was written by an ex-CIA agent, and he was a professional negotiator for terrorist threats. It's something about like, I'm gonna mess up the title. It's like, never pay for the bill or something like oh my God, I don't remember what it is. As I'm uploading this video, if I remember, I'll try to put it in the comments down below if you're interested. It's like a very insightful book, because really life is all about negotiating, right? Like we negotiate with our partners, we negotiate with our coworkers, business partners, we negotiate with our kids and our family members. Like, hey, if you eat all your vegetables, like I'll give you some ice cream, right? Like those are all negotiations. And so it's like a really fascinating book to read. And I learned quite a bit from that book. But in any case, bibliophile nature aside, Spirit is saying like you have to understand the other side and the other perspective in order to be successful here, in order to be able to move forward, okay? Yeah, okay. I think that's all that needs to be said on that matter. Let's pull another card here. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. These allergies, I tell you. So excuse me. Oh, okay. So here we go. This is your advice from Spirit. Again, we have be playful. Are you thinking too much or too seriously about a current situation? Take a break and be playful. Free your mind just like when you were a child. Be fun and excited. High vibes, invite new ideas. So Spirit acknowledges that this situation so far has been very stressful for you. There's probably been a lot of emotions coming up, like anger, grief, frustration, sadness, resentment, shame, guilt. Like there's probably a lot of these feelings coming up, and Spirit is saying like, hey, those kinds of things don't help you think clearly. So take a breather, take a break, do something relaxing, do something fun, and that kind of will help restart the system for you and help you get into the more strategic mindset, more creative mindset for problem solving, okay? Wow, this was such a very interesting reading. I loved it. So if you enjoyed anything of it, if it resonated with you, you got something out of it, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, if you're open to it, share this video with someone that you care about or someone that you think needs to hear these messages here today as well. Okay, my loves? I would really appreciate that. Now, if you're ready for another reading, you can click this link. Right in the top right corner, you can just move the mouse, move your finger, click on it, and it'll take you to another reading. And otherwise, this was such a joy to really share these messages with you because it feels very empowering and helpful from my perspective. And I'm really honored that I was able to do that for you. So until next time, sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And to those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Do let me know in the comments down below where you're tuning in from. And I'm so excited for this reading today, y'all, because the energies have been insane. It's been like so powerful and so strong and just so lovely to answer this question on what should you do, advice for your current situation. So for those of you that were drawn here to the Star Spinner Tarot deck, we will use the tarot deck here in just a moment. But first we're going to pull some cards here from the Tea Leaf Fortune deck to help you get some insight on your situation and help bring to light the things that maybe you're missing, the things that you're not seeing, just because, you know, you're kind of in the midst of it, right? It's really hard to get that full view and full assessment of the situation when you are like playing a role in it yourself. It's like, right? It's hard for an actor on the play to watch the play at the same time, okay? So this first part of the reading is to kind of help you get that bird's eye view, that comprehensive view on your situation, which in and of itself will also give you some insight and advice, okay, on what you should be doing. So we'll start off with that. And already we see the owl card here. And what I'm sensing from the owl card is that there is someone that's really trying to help you out here. And what I'm also getting, though, is you're just really not trying to hear it. I'm sensing more, it's like you know that what they're saying is true and it's helpful, but it's just like emotionally you're not ready for it, okay? And you're not in the best position to receive it, okay? It's like your brain knows that it makes sense and it's a smart thing, but your emotions are telling you otherwise. You know, it's kind of like what I'm getting, and not that this is your situation at all, but this is just an example, okay? So what I'm getting, it's kind of like when your friend is saying like, oh, don't date that guy, he's a really bad guy. Or girl, sorry, guy or girl. Don't date that person. We'll just say that. Don't date that person. They seem like they're really dishonest and they're lying, and I caught them doing really shady things. I don't like the way they treat you, like that kind of thing, right? And you notice it. You've been questioning that and wondering that yourself, but because you care for them so much and you love them so much and you're just so into them, you're like, nah, that's just, you're not seeing the whole thing, like, you don't get to see all sides of them. I do. I know who they really are, like this and that, right? So it's like on an intellectual level, you know that what your friend is saying is true and you can understand where they're coming from. But emotionally, you're just like not ready to accept that outcome or that opinion, that viewpoint, whatever it is, okay? Now, next we have Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. Okay, so this situation is definitely very challenging, what I'm getting here, and there's an opportunity to really either A, build a strong foundation and then move forward from that and expand from that, or go back to the foundation and reinforce it, okay, and strengthen it even further because it's kind of been a bit shaky now. I'm seeing like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, where it's like, you know, it's leaning, and it's like, okay, if we don't strengthen this foundation or correct it, this crack, this weakness here is gonna collapse. So there's this opportunity here for that, okay? Next we have Fly, a period of ill health, depression. Mice, discord among friends or family. Ooh, okay, it is just becoming clearer and clearer here. Peacock, beware of great pride. Ow! Oh my gosh. Are you guys feeling the energies already? Are you feeling the energies? Cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. And Inkpot, problems to be resolved. Ooh, my gosh. Okay, so what I am feeling here for many of you is whatever it is that you're asking about, you're inquiring about, whatever the situation is, this isn't the first time. That's what I'm sensing here is that this isn't like the first time we're like, okay, well, maybe this was just, a fluke, maybe it was just circumstantial and let's just move on. Like this thing has happened repeatedly now, okay? And it's time for it to be resolved because it's causing a lot of discord here, not just within the primary two people involved, but it's spreading beyond that now, right? So if it's two people that have a disagreement, it's like now the friends and family of those two people are coming involved because like you're complaining to each other or like say it's, we'll just use an example. So it's like mom and dad, right, having a disagreement, and mom is telling her friends or her family about the disagreement, dad is telling his friends, his family about the disagreement, and then it's like, well, I mean, can we not have family dinner now because we don't want to invite so and so over because we know you're upset and fighting with them, or we have this big family reunion coming up or this big family trip coming up, and now we're like, I don't know if it would be good, what's it going to be like when you guys come because you guys are fighting, and how can I look at this person in the face now after I've heard all the complaints you made about them and all the bad things you said about them, right? Like it's starting to affect, and now some people in your friends or family circle are feeling like they're being forced to take sides. And right, it's like I'm hearing from spirits, like somebody is saying like, whose side are you on anyway, right? And it's like making some people very, very uncomfortable. And some people, when they're feeling uncomfortable, and this could include you, like they're getting really depressed and they start to feel physically sick. Like they're getting body aches, they're getting headaches, they're getting shortness of breath, palpitations, because they're just getting so anxious and nervous. Or maybe they're like losing their appetite, or they're overeating because they're just so stressed about this. This sort of, this having to choose sides and this tug of war. And also what I'm feeling too, it's like, some people are like, I can't really do anything to help because this is your issue, your situation. And so it's like, I can't really step in and do anything. It's really up to you two to figure this out. And so that's sort of the energy that I'm feeling here, is that this situation that you're in is affecting other people, not just you and your, I don't know, opponent, antagonist, whatever. It's not just you two. It's having like a negative effect on other people around you. Okay? Now, with this cobweb here, this protected from negative forces beyond your control, I don't even know how to accurately say this, so I'm going to try my best. But I'm sensing that things, even though they seem a bit rocky and tough as it is, what I'm seeing is that it could be a lot worse. And I'm not necessarily fond of that type of phrasing or that type of comparison where, when things are bad, it's like, well, it could be a whole lot worse. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. Because I think it sort of, what it does sometimes for people is it really discounts how the person is feeling right now. Like it is not giving that person that outlet for their emotions of sadness or whatever, right? It's almost like saying, suck it up. Like, don't be such a baby. Sometimes the phrase, it could be a lot worse, carries that sort of vibe with it. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily that, but it's more like there are other things that can compound the situation, but it's almost like your guardians, your guides, whether here in the physical realm, like family members or whatnot, or your angelic 5D spirit guides, ancestral guides, and guardians are sort of helping to stall these other things that are out of your control from having an impact on your life. Okay. Um, so it could be like one example here. This is one example. Is like, so you're very upset with somebody, and that anger that you have, it's hard to kind of forget about it and let it go when you're at work. Okay? And so when you're at work, it's hard for you to get your mind off of those things. So you start performing not so well at work, right? Or maybe you're having to call out sick from work because you have to attend to something, or maybe you're feeling like super stressed and you're not sleeping well, right? And then someone from work, like someone on your team, has to pick up the slack for you because you haven't been able to perform at your best because of this situation that's causing you a lot of stress, right? And so people at work are covering for you, and they're covering for you because they care about you, and they understand you're going through a tough time and things still need to, like, the day-to-day tasks at work still need to be completed. But if they weren't covering for you, or if they weren't able to pick up the slack for you, then your boss or whoever's going to be upset and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, I've noticed this and that. Like, hey, if you don't get it together, like, you're going to get written up. You're going to get fired. You're going to get in trouble, right? So that's one example of how other people and other energies are trying to chip in and support you and protect you while you sort this thing out. So just be very mindful of that. But the issue does need to be resolved, okay? Because again, it's starting to affect everyone else around you, energetically, especially, right? I know I've been on that end myself where, I had one of my good friends complain a lot about the person that they were dating. And, I personally had nothing against the person myself. Like, I didn't know them that well. But I would be like, yo, like, okay, if you're so unhappy with them, why don't you break up with them? And then my friend would make whatever kind of excuse and say like, oh, well, maybe I'm just being too difficult or challenging, or things will get better. This is just like a rough patch. And then, a year later, 2 years later, it's like they're complaining about the same thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Like, you only have bad things to say when I'm around you. Like, every time we hang out, it's always about you complaining about your partner. Like, gosh, it's not even fun anymore to hang out with you. You're always in such a bad mood. So I don't know if you've ever experienced that before, but I felt that way, and it was like I didn't even want to hang out with that person anymore. Or it would be awkward when that person would come to me and be like, hey, so and so's been kind of off. Like, do you know anything? And, me being that person to respect other people's privacy and people telling me things in confidence. Like, I'm not going to, like, rat on somebody and tell them what was truly being said. The most I could do is be like, oh, well, maybe you should ask them, right? Like, if you're noticing that something's wrong, like, maybe you should ask them about it and see what they can share with you and tell them, you know? And that's kind of what I would say to people. And then, then that like opens up a whole nother can of worms. And then if I do tell them something like, well, they were kind of upset that you did this. And then the friend would come back like, I told you this, that stays between us, right? It's like, you don't win, right? It's like, oh my gosh, there's no winning in this situation. And so the best thing that I felt like I could do is just not be a part of it. And it's like, cut off all communication. It's like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, ignorance is bliss. You know what I'm saying? And so it could be that you are placing people in your close circle in that kind of position that I just described, all right? And here, what Spirit is wanting you to realize, and this can be a tough pill to swallow, guys, but it's beware of great pride. So Spirit is saying, like, you need to take a step back and see where and how you are being unreasonable in this situation, where you are creating more drama. Okay. And so I say that with the utmost love, not to try to put you down or shame you or anything like that, because we've all been there at some point in our life. There have been times where I had to look at my own actions and my own behavior and admit that I was in the wrong and apologize to people. And so Spirit is saying, like, yo, you're not pure yourself. you are not without faults, okay? So take a moment and see, where have you been fueling the fire here? Where have you been adding to the discord and the disharmony and the drama? Okay? And start from there. Now let's look at the tarot here. I'm going to put the Two of Swords to the side. Let's look at the tarot. Let's get some specific guidance and advice for you on like what to do. Okay, now that we have a better sense of the situation. Excuse me, my allergies are just not being helpful today as I'm doing this reading for you all. So I apologize for the sniffles and the coughing and sneezing if it's a bit distracting. So let's see. What can you do? What is the advice now that we have some more insight, a bird's eye view, a bigger picture on your situation? Oh my gosh, I'm loving the readings for this. It's like this dose of truth that's coming out, but it's also very empowering, and it feels like it's very solution focused. So I hope you're getting that energy as well. So we have, first out, Nine of Cups. Ooh, Three of Swords. Five of Swords. King of Swords. Oh my gosh, lots of swords energy coming through. And Six of Cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Moon. And the Lovers. Okay. So we have like 2 major arcana cards coming through here at the end, preceded by all these minor arcanas. Okay. Oh, and we have the King of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for all of you is definitely the emotions are like riding high here. We have the Six of Cups, we have the Nine of Cups, okay? So with this number 6 and 9, it's really a magnification is what I'm getting, because 3 is a number of creation, 6 is a number of amplification, nourishing, fueling, nurturing, and 9 is a number of affecting people beyond just you and your immediate circle. So it's like an even further amplification of the energy, right? So like if the 3 of Cups is like your family, the 6 of Cup includes your friends and community, and the 9 of Cup includes the world and strangers, people you don't even know, right? And so what I'm seeing is that the emotions that are coming forth because of this situation are really having a profound effect on you, the other person, and everyone else that aren't even directly involved with this situation, okay? And what I'm sensing here is to go back to your childhood. So the Six of Cups is about the past. It's about nostalgia. It's about childhood. It can even be about past lives, right? And so what's really happening here, and what you need to acknowledge and see, is that there was some pain, some betrayal, some hurt, and this like 3 of Swords and 5 of Swords speaks of pain and betrayal and heartbreak, sadness, grief, lies, deceit. There is some of that energy from your past that is making you so reactive to your present. Okay, so are any of you familiar with like inner child healing work? Okay, that would be something worth doing. And if you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to look it up. But it could be something like when you were a child and you went to school, and then someone told you at school, like you fell down and you scraped your knee, and someone was like, why are you crying? You're being such a big baby. Like, it's not even that bad of a scratch, right? Like, that could be what happened in the past. That was your experience. And it made you feel hurt. It made you feel sad. And it made you feel betrayed because maybe it was like a teacher or a caregiver or a family member that was like, stop being such a baby, right? And it's like, well, you're supposed to love me and care for me and take care of me when I'm like hurt and sad. Why are you being such a meanie, right? So that's your childhood self. That was what they experienced. Now, fast forward to present day, and you're in a situation and something happened that hurts you, right? Whether physically or emotionally, and you cry about it. And now your partner is like, why are you crying about it? Like, it's not that big a deal. That is triggering you from this instance in your past childhood when someone else that you cared about said the same thing to you. Like, why are you crying? It's not that big of a cut. It's not that big of a scrape. And now you're sort of like blending these experiences together. And that's creating this reactivity within you to be more upset than you normally would be, okay? And so that's kind of what spirit is suggesting. That's the guidance, is like, what core belief, what part of you is being hurt by this situation, which is making you act very prideful, very vengeful, very angry, okay? Like, where is the root cause of this, okay? And what I'm seeing here with this King of Swords is actually kind of being reflected with this peacock. Look, they're both birds, right? And the peacock has that sort of crown on their head of feathers, and this bird here has like a crown on their head, okay? And so what I'm feeling is sort of the shadow aspects of the King of Swords here, all right? And what I'm getting is this energy of stubbornness and this energy of wanting to be right all the time. And that could be coming from you, and or it could be coming from the other person involved. Okay? And that energy is really hurting the situation, because if you're right and the other person is right, then who's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna concede, right? You're over here like, I'm right, you need to submit to me. And the other person's like, no, I'm right, you need to submit to me. And it's like you're now at this impasse. And no one can move forward now. Now we're just stuck in this energy of like anger, of like fighting, of battling, of warring with each other. And, you know, the best side of the King of Swords is being able to understand where other people are coming from. What are their thoughts? What are their experiences? And really listening, okay? Because the sword's energy is about communication. And the thing is, listening, like what spirit is suggesting that you do is listen beyond what is being said. Okay? It's like that reading between the lines is what needs to happen here, where it's like you need to be that investigative detective, that sleuth, that's just like, hey, you are really being triggered here. Like, where is this coming from? And that could be you asking the other person, or it could be you asking yourself, right? Like, there's something more to this than meets the eye. Okay, it's like Transformers, more than meets the eye. There's something more going on here than what's at the surface. And true healing, true resolution, true peace comes from going deeper within and finding out what is the root cause of this disagreement or this argument here. Because again, it's not as it seems. And that's further supported here by the Moon card. Because the moon is about illusions, it's about confusion, it's about lack of clarity here, okay? And so that's the energy that's kind of coming in. It's like, okay, you both are clearly not on the same page, because again, there are past energies playing into the scenario that's kind of exploding, making the situation worse than it needs to be. Kind of amplifying the stress and the anger here. And so that confusion, that uncertainty needs to be cleared out. And the moon is about the subconscious. So it could be something from a past life, something from your childhood that you're not consciously aware of, okay? Which is why it will be helpful for you to go deep. And you can do that with hypnotherapy. They have past life regression. I mean, they have regular therapy as well. You can do that meditation, inner kind of work to dive deep and see, like, where is this anger that I'm feeling really coming from? Okay, and working with that and being at peace with that. And then only when you're at peace with your own energies, then should you start to try to work with the energies of the other person. All right? Or else you're going to get triggered again, and then you're going to be right back where you started. And here, what Spirit is saying with the Lovers card is traditionally the Lovers is really about making a choice. And it's choosing love, choosing the highest path forward, choosing what's best for everybody and not just being selfish about it and like my way or the highway. All right? Because the Lovers is about coming into union as well with somebody, right? And it's now like, okay, now I'm with you. So everything I choose to do and my actions are no longer mine alone. What I do, what I say, also has an effect on your life. Okay? And so when we can understand that very intimate connection with somebody, then we start to behave and act in different ways than if we felt like, okay, well, it's just me. Like my actions are my own and it has no bearing on anybody else, right? If we have that mindset, when we're in a partnership with somebody, then it can create a lot of difficulty and challenges moving forward in the relationship, okay? Because we have to, now that you are a pair, you are a unit, again, it could be romantic, could be work, could be family, like you have some kind of connection with this person. They're not a stranger, you know what I'm saying? They are a part of your life. And again, co-worker, boyfriend, girlfriend, parent, child, whatever that relationship is, your actions affect that other person now, and their actions will affect you. So how can you show compassion and love for yourself and then extend it to them? Because they are kind of, in a way, an extension of you, right? Because you've shared energies now from your relationship. So making that choice, choosing love, choosing compassion. Oh, my gosh, I love that. Oh, wow. I feel like your relationship can really grow here and you can really reach a new height together if you can let both of your prides go and really handle the situation between the two of you and perhaps not involve other people in the drama. Okay. Let's see what we got here from Spirit. Some more advice. We have wish. And that's so interesting because the Nine of Cups is also a wish card. The divine heard your wish. It will come true. You have the divine's attention. Now is the time to make a wish. Make a list of your wishes and let the divine work for you. So what I'm feeling here from Spirit is try not to think the worst of the other person. Try to think that they will be the best version of themselves, and that's going to be the key to bringing this to a resolution, okay? Because if you think poorly of the other person, then you're not going to be able to see when they do things right, okay? When they are trying their best, when they are being helpful, because you've already written them off. So Spirit is saying, like, for your wish to be granted, you have to be willing to see that the best outcome is possible. And the best outcome is one where you're happy and the other person is happy too. Right? If our mind is already like, well, I want you to suffer and I want to be happy, or I want to win and I want you to lose, like already, like it's not, the energy is not good. You know what I mean? So if this reading resonated with you, got something helpful out of it, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe here. And if you think anybody else might benefit from the messages here, I invite you to share this video with them as well. This was such a very powerful reading and I feel such good energy coming from it. And I'm, wishing you all the best in resolving this situation, again, to the highest and greatest good of you and everyone involved. So if you want another reading, you can click this link right up here in the top right corner. It will take you there. Otherwise, my loves, it was such a pleasure to spend time with you today and hopefully help you out with your situation. I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye.